Hello, I'm Rob Thomas. Welcome to another episode of the Club Resort Talks podcast. Today's podcast is sponsored by KE Camps. KE Camps provides the highest quality in children's summer camps for country clubs. The unique setup of KE Camps offers children opportunities to experience a variety of dynamic and innovative programs, all customized to the particular needs of the club. KE Camps is dedicated to creating a family-friendly and inclusive atmosphere at each of its partner clubs. They strongly believe this is accomplished by providing a joyous camp experience for each and every camper. Learn more at kecamps.com. Let's not spend too much time on the news because I have a terrific interview with Gilles Gagnon. Gilles Gagnon. I'm going to totally butcher his name. I hope I didn't butcher it. Director of Sales at Casa de Campo in Dominican Republic. A close personal friend of Pete Dye's. Gilles was the longtime director of golf at the acclaimed resort before taking on his new role. He has some very entertaining stories to share. So let's get to the news real quick, and we can get right to Gilles. So with that in mind, after a 2.5-year intensive course renovation, San Juan Oaks Golf Club in Hollister, California has reopened for daily fee play. Developer Third Millennium Partners has overseen this project from start to finish with insights from golf architect Gene Bates, designer of the original course in 1996, along with PGA Tour golfer and World Golf Hall of Famer Fred Couples, who returned to modernize the layout in January of 2022. The comprehensive restoration involved regrassing the entire course, including tees and fairways with perennial ryegrass, 007XL bent grass on the greens, and a new drought-resistant Bermuda grass on the practice range. Installation of a new pump station and irrigation system reduces overwatering and achieves better playing conditions. Next up in the news, a sinkhole, at Bunker Hill Golf Course in Dubuque, Iowa, first appeared in May 2023. It has raised concerns among local residents and golfers. The sinkhole, located near the 17th hole, measures 11 feet deep and exposes a limestone shelf, indicating the collapse into an underlying mine shaft. The golf course is situated above an old limestone mine, a common feature in the area, and sinkholes are not uncommon in the region due to the topography and historical mining activity. The City of Dubuque's Leisure Service Department, in collaboration with the Engineering Department, is actively working on a solution. Officials have confirmed that the depth of the sinkhole has remained stable, and the city is preparing to hire an outside company to repair it. The area has been fenced off and covered with plywood to ensure safety, and the city advises people to avoid this site. From what I understand, when it was first discovered last year, it was the size of a basketball. So 5 feet wide by 11 feet deep. A lot's happened in a year. Hopefully they can take care of that before the snow starts flying, and there's a little blanket over top of that, and people can not know it's there. So fingers are crossed. Last but not least, our friends down in Florida, the club at Old Cypress in Naples, Florida, has enlisted Clive Daniel Hospitality for a renovation project. In partnership with Stock Development and Humphrey and Roswell Architects, Clive Daniel Hospitality is revitalizing the clubhouse to provide a refreshed, modernized experience for its members and guests. The renovation, which includes the expansion of both the bar and dining areas, will open the back of the dining space to panoramic views of the lake and golf course. The exterior will also see a transformation with the addition of ample seating on the upper and lower terraces, with a newly constructed covered exterior bar. Read about these stories and so much more at clubandresortbusiness.com. Now that we have done all the news out of the way, let's get right to Gilles from Casa de Campo. Hello, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm joined with a special guest here. I got Gilles Gagnon, I hope I didn't mess up the name too badly, Director of Golf Sales at Casa de Campo Resorts and Village in the Dominican Republic. Gilles, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so delighted to be with you and honored to be with you.
But thank you, thank you. If before we get into the meat and potatoes, could you give us just elevator pitch on your career? I mean, it's long and illustrious.
Well, I was French Canadian. I started as a hockey player and I went to Michigan State, played hockey there and played professional hockey for a while and got beat up pretty bad. And Colgate University offered me a job there as an assistant hockey coach. And the golf pro retired. So I took over. I said, "Oh, I'm going to do that. Why not?" So I took over the golf operation there, Seven Oaks Golf Club at Colgate, which we hosted the NCAA in 1977. In 1980, somebody said there's a position in the Dominican Republic to become the director of golf operation. Would you be interested? Well, I did. So I applied, and they actually hired Bill Coore of Coore Crenshaw first. And because Pete Dye wanted somebody there that could take care of his, of the golf, of his golf courses. We had Tee to the Dog and Links. And Bill came down and he go, well, I don't want to do that. He says, I want to be a designer. So every time we see each other, we said, you made the best decision for you and for me. So he turned the job down. I came down in 1980. And until about 7 years ago, I ran the golf operation. We did two more golf courses with Pete Dye, the Dye 4 and La Romana Country Club. And eventually, it was time at 69 years old. My wife had a little health issue, and we decided it was enough. And fortunately, we worked for great people, and they said, Jill, you got to stick. You can't, you don't want to retire. I said, no, I don't want to, but I can't do this, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So they said, well, why don't you start, you brought all these events, you created these tournaments, why don't you do sales and marketing? I said, you're in, I'm in. That's what we did. So now that's my position.
Beautiful, beautiful. And uh, Casa de Campo is growing, growing, growing. It's one of the big names, obviously, not only in the Caribbean but across the golf universe. Can you talk a little bit about the resort itself?
Well, in 1980, we had maybe about 150 or so homes at Casa de Campo. We had Tee to the Dog and Links. And, we became popular, a little more popular, and there were more players coming to play golf. And it was very difficult to get here, obviously. You had to land in Santo Domingo. You had a 2-hour drive from there, and the flights weren't, available like they are now. So we decided to do another golf course. So we did built La Romana Country Club, and all of a sudden, we start building more homes, more homes. Well, now we have over 2,200 homes at Casa de Campo. We have 90 holes of golf. We had one of the best shooting range, for skeet shooting and all that stuff anywhere in the world. We have a great marina. We have tennis. We have pickleball, polo, you name it. We pretty much have it all here. So, I mean, we even now, it's 7,000 acres. Even have a grocery store on here. We have a movie theater. We have, I don't know, 14. We have 9 restaurants that are part of our hotel, but there's probably 15, 16 restaurants, all gourmet restaurants. And, it's unbelievable. I mean, we're sold out almost every month. And unfortunately, when the hotel sold out, we have an opportunity to move people to homes that people put in our rental pool, 4-bedroom homes, that are over $2 million. So it's not, little kind of, cookie cutter place. So yeah, so we did, I think we're doing about 80 some thousand rounds of golf now, plus the private club. So yeah, we're a busy place, but at the same time, when you're here, we're so big, and everybody gets a transportation cart when they get a hotel room. So, it looks like it's empty most of the time. That's the great thing about Casa de Campo.
So just about everything besides a downhill skiing and a hockey team, huh?
Yeah, and you know what? I got a hockey stick here, and once in a while with my grandson here, we'll shoot the little tennis ball in the backyard over here. But yeah, hockey and downhill skiing is probably not. I don't think we have a team on the Olympic team for that. I know we had a great runner, that young lady there that won the gold medal. I think I'm trying to think it was at 400 meters or something. But anyway, she won a gold medal, and yeah, we have some great athlete, baseball player, obviously. George Bell has a place here, and it's just an amazing place.
Well, hopefully your Canadians can turn it around here soon.
Yeah, it's been pretty disappointing, I have to say, that the Canadians and have done very poorly. I actually played with the junior Canadian when I was 19 years old. I was, they kind of kept me for a while, and then I was a little older, and Perot, Tardif, all these great players were there. And so they had this 5'5" little guy just didn't quite, they thought I could, get somebody else, but, it was great. And, hockey's changed a lot, like golf has changed a lot.
Well, I'm a Blue Jackets fan, and unfortunately, we had a little guy, Johnny Goodrow, and his brother, who unfortunately
Uh,
passed away this past year, summer.
what
But
a sad story.
hey, enough of the sad stuff. You're gonna get me
All right,
crying.
let's go.
It hit me. So the teeth of the dog, we're getting into a restoration, I believe. So can your primary is it going to be cosmetic? Is it going to be the functionality of the golf course? What's going on with the restoration?
Well, first of all, when I got here in 1980, if you took a picture of every hole that we have compared in 1980 to this 2024, it's very different. Pete always came around and changed a little bit of that, a little bit of this. And so the idea is that we will obviously try to bring it back. Some of the holes that over the years have changed because of storms that we've had. But mainly, we're going to redo the greens, we're going to redo the bunkers, plant new grass in the fairways, put a cart path all the way around. When we have, very rarely do we have rain, but when we do, it's tough to tell people to go out. We don't want to stop people from playing because it drains very fast. But so it's a restoration. Bring back some of the maybe the quality or things that were really special that over the years have been, changed. The greens have got smaller as they go. The bunkers, the front end has been a little higher. The back end is a little lower, as the Sand Pro comes out. So, we want to basically bring it back and have it an amazing, have the best experience in terms of quality of the turf and the experience of the holes on the ocean and visually. So, so the experience it's a great experience, but we want to make it even better.
So you'd mentioned the regrassing. I believe it's Dynasty Paspalum. Is it going to play differently than the current turf?
Well, we do have Paspalum on the greens, but we had basic number 5 and number 8. Those were the first two Paspalum green that Pete Dye, he basically kind of discovered that grass, and then brought it down here. And at first, it was very difficult. We struggled with that, but believe it or not, they're still there. 5 and 8 are still the original Paspalum, although now they've come up with so many different strain and they got so much better. And they have some for the fairway, they have some for the greens. So that will be an upgrade. And it's a great putting surface. It really is a wonderful putting surface. It's not as grainy as Bermuda, and it's you can get it to a decent speed. You don't want to get in a resort. You don't want a green, a green to go running 13 or 14. But we get them around 10, somewhere like this. So it gives it a good putting surface. And now when we have the storm, let's say, which is very rarely, but we get, say, a little wind once in a while, and you get the spray from the ocean because we have 8 holes that are we're right there. It's like if you walk off the green, you go right in the water. So you get some spray, and this Paspalum is really good. It almost thrive on a little salt every once in a while.
So the turf kind of it triggers something in my mind. I heard your TED talk, and you had mentioned a little anecdote about Pete and some turf. Can you share that with us?
Oh God. So yeah. So Pete was working, if I remember, with some agronomy doctor of agronomy. I think it was at Georgia at the time, and he had some samples. So he lives in Delray. At that time, I had a place in at PGA National, and so he called me and he said, "Jill, look," he says, I want you to take something back to the DR." So I went back to his house, and I get there, and he's got 2 little baggies with basically a cup size of grass in there. And he said, "I want you to take that back to the DR." So I said, "Well, aren't you going back tomorrow?" He says, "Yeah, but if we get there, we're going on the owner's plane, and if we get there, we have a little problem with the with the country with bringing this in." I said, he said, "Could be problem." I said, "Well, what about me?" He said, "Well, if they throw you in, we'll get you out. We'll get you out." So basically, I brought these 2 cup size, grass bag that was Paspalum. And, we sprigged the thing and they planted, and it got, more and more. And now pretty much every blade of Paspalum that's in this country came pretty much from, other than new strain that developed came from those two little baggies that I brought in, and I did not get thrown in jail, so that was okay.
Oh, thank goodness. That's a fantastic story. I loved listening to it. And if you have time, Google Gilles and his TED Talk because you have an expanded version of your relationship with Pete Dye, and it's very entertaining. So thank you very much for sharing that with us.
My
Uh,
pleasure.
so during the time when the teeth of the dog is being restored, I would imagine it's out of play. There's plenty of other options there, golf wise.
Well, yeah, we have die 4, which has 27 holes, and we also have links, the links, which is 18. That was the second golf course that was built 1974, the links, and then in 2003, die 4. And die 4 is up on top of the hill, if you'd say. It's 300 feet above the Chavon River. Wonderful holes. It's nice wind up there, but the fairways are wide. So Pete, knew that we're going to get some wind. Links is basically more inside the resort, but we have 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 6 holes that are built around man-made lakes. A great experience. And I know you're a very popular person, so it's not like I'm going to tell you something that we're not going to be able to share, but we will have a few tee times at our private club that we will try to, put a few people there in the morning for some of the people that are repeat business and the people that have been coming and supporting us all these years. But, even if we don't have that, if you think about the holes, the links and die 4, you can go anywhere in the world, and many resorts don't even have the same quality golf course that we have, these two. So it's not like you're coming in and you go, oh my God, I'm going to have to play this course and that course. Believe it or not, when we do a little survey between die 4 and teeth of the dog, it used to be 60 teeth, 40 die 4. Now it's 55-45. There's some people that really enjoy die 4 more than they do teeth of the dog. So, same weather, it's gorgeous, beautiful hotel. Restaurants are not going to change. It's still amazing gourmet food. Hospitality is amazing. Dominican people, you can come 2 years down the road and they might not remember your name, but they remember you, your face, and say, whatever. It's like me, I don't remember names, but I sure can remember faces and stuff. And so, yeah, it's going to be a year, but I think we'll do a little when people, come down in 2025, we'll do something special for them in 2026.
Yeah, so you already got some plans. It's the packages are going to be ready and you're ready to go.
Yeah, yeah. We have a lot of plans. We there's a lot of things that, like I said, we want, although it was an amazing experience, we want to even make it even better. I mean, the golf course is going to be obviously in better shape. It's going to be in great condition. And then, we're going to change some of the things on the golf course and, just make it so it's an experience that when you left now, I always said, like you're just excited when you get on the first hole and really disappointed on 18. And people say, well, why did you say disappointed? So disappointed that you're on the last hole and it's so yeah, we want to make sure that, when people leave, they go home and they talk to everybody and say, man, this is an amazing golf course, which it is. But yeah, we have planned for packages, obviously rates and how we're going to handle the overflow at that point. Everybody's going to want to try it and hopefully bring people like you that, can take a look and go back to your, to all the people that you talk to every time that you could tell them what the experience is because it's very special, very different than everywhere else I've ever been.
Well, I look forward to sharing it with not only our audience but audience as a whole. Um, Now, what about okay? You got a scratch golfer, you got maybe a 10 handicap, you got a hacker. Are there different golf courses designed for different players, or each of these golf courses that you offer, die for the links, teeth of the dog? Can you scale them down depending on what
Well,
you're playing?
the thing with Pete Dye, Pete and Alice Dye work very closely. Sometime, Alice would come up and she'd say, "That's the dumbest thing you've ever done." I mean, honest to God, she'd say, "What did you see there?" As you know, that she basically designed the 17th at TPC in Jacksonville. That was kind of her idea. So we have a many sets of tees. So you could play from a scratch golfer, let's say tee to the dog at 7,400 yards, basically, and you could go, say, as the forward tee, I think they're like 52 or 53. Links is a little shorter. Die 4, the back tees, because Pete, when we were doing it, Pete was measuring, he thought they were doing it in yards, and they actually were doing it in meters. So it's a little different. It's 7,800 yards from the back tees, but nobody ever plays back there. But so a lot of people will say, "Oh, I want to play the links first because the teeth of the dog." Well, the links is almost harder, or not almost. It's harder than the other two because the greens are smaller, and if you miss the greens, it's difficult to get it up and down. So but we are basically giving everybody the experience that, like you said, from the scratch golfer to the hacker, that we love hackers around here. They still come in and pay their fee, and they talk more, but probably more than the scratch golfer. So yes, they're different experience, and we challenge everybody. But again, fairways are wide enough. You're not going to go. I mean, I've played golf course. You go out there, you can lose 6 golf balls and or more. You can hit it a little crooked. Dive 4 is very, very wide, but teeth is also, you always got the front 9, you can bail out right. So if you're a righty and you slice, you're in pretty good shape on the front. Be a little more trouble in the back because the ocean is to the right. But and the wind changes direction from the winter to the summer. The weather's pretty much the same in terms of it's 85 to 90 every single day. I don't care if it's January or September. The only thing is in the wintertime, obviously, when we get to mid-October, the night get cooler. They get a little cooler. But other than that, pretty much the same. So yeah, you can enjoy it no matter level of golfer. And I'll tell you what's amazing also is that most women golfers that come here go home and always play their best round, because the way Alice, put the tees, told Pete where she wanted the tees, is that men, we might hit a driver and a 7-iron, and a lot of time women will hit driver, 3-wood, and and another iron because they're so, compared, they're so long. So this course is really built where if I'm playing at the tees that I'd say I should play from my level, if I play with my wife, let's say, and she's like about 14 handicap. And if she hits a good drive and I hit a good drive, we basically will hit the same irons to the green. Now, she might be closer than, because I hit 7-iron a little further than her, but so it levels up. So people play the links, for example, they come back and they'll shoot, they'll shoot something like, I've never broken 80 in my life, and I broke 80. And so I think that's something, I mean, challenging people is one thing, but making them miserable, that's not the plan here. We want them to go home with a smile, not saying, well, can I never go back here again? I lost all these golf balls, but at the same time, if you play a good round, you've played well.
Amen. Amen. I played golf in Jamaica last November, and I can attest to the fact that it is 80s in November, while up here in Ohio, it's a little cold. It's not
Yeah, yeah.
pleasant. So
Played in Jamaica many years ago, and yeah, they have beautiful weather too. The islands are pretty special.
oh, I'm jealous that you're there right now. Even in the middle of summer, I'm sure it's beautiful with the trade winds, right?
It is beautiful, and it's about 85 right now. We get a little wind from the south, and when I'm done there speaking with you, I'm going to tee it up as,
I'm not going to
as
hold
I
you up
do
too
every
much.
day.
Tough day for you. So I'll kind of wrap it up for you, so you're not wasting your time with me. But so are there facilities there, practice academies? Somebody wants to get a little better at golf. Could you do you offer lessons there for the resort guests?
Well, when we hosted the Latin American Amateur, before we did that, and I'm trying to think now, it's 5, 6 years, the first one. Sorry, I can't come up with the right date. The people that were organizing, which was Augusta, USGA, RNA, came in and they said, we had a little driving range there that was right next to the teeth of the dog, and the young kids would have been hitting 5-iron into the second floor of the hotel, on the other side. So we built a new driving range there. We have 2 bays there with TrackMan and putting lab, and we have instructors, beautiful chipping and putting area. And we have that at Teeth of the Dog, which is right next to the 10th hole. So it's easy, you come in, get your cart, you go down there. And then we also have a separate practice facility at Die 4. So, so when people are up there, they can also, practice, and it's right next to the first and the 10th hole. So yeah, we have, everything you can possibly imagine. You can even play inside. We have, if somebody wants to come in the middle of the night or some play, we have these, video with the screens where you can play different golf courses. But yeah, you can get lessons. Golf is, basically this is our, life here. Obviously, we do a lot of weddings, we do a lot of corporate outings and things like that. But golf is the number one. This is what this is. It's Casa de Campo golf. This is what we were created. That's what Pete created. And this is what we've grown. Golf is what's brought us to where we are today.
Wow, fantastic. I'm looking forward to getting down there. People who are looking forward to getting down there. I didn't want to make my own segue here, but talking about like stay and play packages there on the at the resort.
Yep. First of all, we have a bunch of golf tournaments. For example, I started a tournament called the Casa de Campo Open 43 years ago, and started it with 25 golfers, and we average between 150 and 250 golfers. So if you go to our website, you can see there's a lot of we have 5 pro-ams. We have international husband and wife. We have a golf and spa. That's, by the way, we just opened a spa a year ago. It's state of the art, absolutely incredible. So we have these events. So, sometimes people, and we get probably 80% repeat business on that. But you also have packages that you can purchase. You could buy a golf package, you could buy a golf and add a spa. We basically, we have some that are online, but also if you have a group of, 4 guys, 8 guys, or 4 couples, 8 couples, if you write to us, we will create and totally put a package that everything in the package is what you're asking for. It's customized and you get everything. You pay for everything is included in there: breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks. And again, not at a buffet. It's a beautiful restaurant. You could play golf, you go from tee to links to die for. You could replay. We have, a way so you could replay again, on the links, let's say, or die for at no extra charge. If we're not sold out. So we do that, and it's very reasonable. I mean, this is not obviously, a cheap resort. We everything's, first class. So yeah, but if you compare to other resort, you could see that our prices are, we're well priced and affordable. And you know what golf is now. You go play any golf course, it's $400 or $500. Well, we try to just not get to that point. We're trying to make it so people can come. We have a way for junior golfer, for example. If you come with the parents, the idea, I think, is just we charge card fee only for the kid that's under 18. So because, I had a daughter that grew up playing golf, went to play in the US Open 2001, played in the USM, went to college on a scholarship. But every time I went somewhere, you go play golf, if it's $400, $800. So we want the parents to give an opportunity for the kid to experience it. So as they get older, like me, I have kids that come back when I first got here. Now they're married and have their own kids, and they'll call or email and say, hey, I would like to come back. Can I bring my family? So I'm going through those generation now.
All right. Well, I got a 13-year-old son. I'll bring him on the golf course with me, send my wife to the spa, and we'll make a day of it, huh?
Perfect. I got a 14 and a 13-year-old grandsons that can play. So we could do that for sure. I would love to do it.
All right, Drew. My son might rather play basketball, but we'll get him out there and have some good time anyways.
Well, at 5'5" right now, I was never much of a basketball player, and I don't think I got one grandson that's 16, that's 6'1" right now, and I don't know exactly where he came from. We're not sure yet.
Well, I won't speculate. Environmental sustainability is huge across the industry right now. What is Casa de Campo doing to keep up with the Joneses as far as the environment goes?
Well, the environment. We are very, very well. First of all, the water, right? If you're talking, and I kind of lost you for a second there, but we're talking. So the water, for example, a lot of time we use brackish water because paspalum, which we do that. So we manage the water very well. And we try to minimize the fertilizer and all that kind of stuff. And obviously we have golf carts at Casa de Campo, so you don't have, cars and stuff. The buses that we have on property here are environmental friendly. They burn whatever that, again, I'm not an expert, but obviously that's not diesel or something like that. We do recycle, the water bottle that we put on the golf course, that's kind of recyclable. So we're very conscious of that. I mean, Pete Dye was very much into making sure that what we did when he first, put past Palam, obviously water is not a problem. We have the Chavon River, fresh water is not a problem. But at the same time, he kept saying, eventually we're going to have more, there's many hotels, say in Punta Cana, Bávaro, they got 40, 50,000 rooms up there. So his idea was, why not try to use more brackish water and, not keep pumping the water out of that river all the time and, making it so, Pete built a golf course thinking that in the future guys would be driving at 325, because I think in the old days at the time, I think John Daly was driving at about 290 and then he went to 310. And the idea was, he was not lifting any weights, so he knew that the game was changing. But he felt the same way about golf. We planted some plants on the outside of it that basically you don't have to water at all. It's called guajica. I don't know if that's a Dominican term or whatever, but you put that stuff, you get it started, and after that, that's it. You don't have to worry about it. It'll go with whatever the amount of rain we get. So yeah, so that's what we do. We're very conscious of that, and I think it's very important. I want this to be another, as long as I can. Well, not as long as I can live, a little longer, hopefully much longer than that, but. This place continue to grow, continue to improve. The owners keep putting more money. It's not like make money. We're building homes, but the homes are built with, there's solar panel that we're putting. It's pretty. It blows my mind to see where I came in 1980 to where it is. If somebody would have told me I would still be here, and somebody would say the way it would be now, I would be blown. I'd say there's no way. So we're doing pretty good.
All right, good on you. I'll get you out on this one so you can make your tea time. As you approach your 45th year and then 50th year, so you're looking in your crystal ball, 2 years in the future, 5 years, 7 years, 10. What's upcoming for Casa de Campo, Teeth of the Dog, beyond?
Well, if golf continued the way it's growing right now, obviously we might have to do another golf course. But there's so many golf courses being built everywhere. The idea though for us is, we want to do that maybe to grow, but at the same way, we do not want to minimize the quality or the experience that we're giving to people. You could put 250 golfers on the golf course every day. In the winter, it gets dark at about 6:30. So you start at 7:30, you could put 250, but that's not what we want to do. That's not what we're doing. We want to make sure that people go out there. It doesn't take 6 hours to play, so they can play and enjoy it at a decent speed. But I think in the future, it's always about not necessarily growing much bigger, but continue to improve the quality and the experience. And there's always a way to do that. You know what I mean? There's always way that, okay, we can't do it now, or new things arrive. Like, on the golf cart, you have these, the things where you can, the GPS. Well, who thought that it would be on golf carts, right? So, and we do, by the way, we have caddies here that you have to have 4 caddies or on the Teeth of the Dog and die 4. And it's very reasonable for them. It's not like $150 a bag or something, it's more around like $25 a bag. So they go, one with 4, but they go out there, but good experience. We teach them, a lot of them speak English. They know the golf course pretty well. We let them play, so, when we were a little quieter in off season, so they play, they understand the golf course. And, every year we have classes for them to get better and better. And it's a big job, a big position for them because, they do very well. And so it's, you support about 250 caddies, support their family. So it's a big, but it's not, not necessarily like you go play, a lot of golf course private club there. I was just at one in New York last week at an event. And I was up at Liberty National, for example. And, you play golf there. It's a beautiful facility. The owner is a good friend of mine. But man, it's expensive. It's you go play golf there and caddies are expensive and they're obviously, but here it's more of, again, making you showing you where to go, where to hit it, but not overburdening you. They'll go along, but you're not intimidated. Sometimes you play with a caddy and the guy's a 10-time better player than you are, and a lot of the places because they're mini tour player or something. Here the kids that we train when they, at 18. Pete wanted caddies that originally at 18, they had to go on to go with, try to get other position because we needed people at front desk. But now it's becoming where these guys are like, their 50s and 60s, and they can support their family very well, especially now with how many rounds we have. So they stay that way. But that's also a very nice experience.
All right, fantastic. Gilles, thank you very much for your time. And how can people can find Casa de Campo online?
Well, you could go to www.casadecampo, in one word, casadecampo.com.do, David Olive. And you go there and we have, you could see all the golf course, you could see the rooms. We have beautiful new rooms now. The premier rooms that we have, 62 mini suites basically. And again, I don't want to take, you've been so nice to have me on, and I don't want to take too much of your time, but you could do that. And you could also write me if you want to, you could just send me a little note if you have anything. And so I don't know if I can, maybe the other people are going to say, oh, you promoted yourself, but it's fine. It's so it's G.Gagnon, Gagnon at ccampo.com.do. And if you have any question or anything, please don't hesitate. Like I said, 1:30, I'm still in front of my computer. 1:45 in the winter, about that. Now it's about 2:15, hit a few balls, and I go see if I can take some money from my members at Lotto Winner Country Club.
Hey, good luck to you. I appreciate your time. Have a great day.
I look forward to seeing you, and thank you so much for having me.